Hello, my dear Aries. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Welcome to my channel, Tarot of the Twin Sun. My name is Ron. I am doing a situationship reading for 3 intervals, 3 iterations of your potential love life, in which you can take to find resonance, take what you will, and find resonance and create some sort of instrumental vision of your love situationships, whatever or how many they may be. Yeah, so 2020 is very promising. Once again, this is a love situationship reading, 3 portals. I'll be working firstly with the 1890 deck from the French school, Alietta. Alietta was a great occultist, very well known, and I'll be using this deck in particular for the first portal. First portal is now opening. Okay. The first portal is open now, my dear Aries, for 2020 January. We have here double feminine energies here. We have femme en place, femme in place, as well as femme, bonne femme, the beautiful woman, as well as the woman of place. So what we see here is energies that shift from passion to emotion, intuition to creation. There is a shift here, a movement of your energy in particular that is of a feminine nature, and of course by that I mean no gender need be applied. There is a sort of energy that is giving one from the next, in which emotions and passions are out of control in some sort of way. You have to be careful to control the emotional content and emotional welling that occurs inside of you, because at the same time there is a difficult and a hot-blooded temperament of your actual passions. They may flare up or flash in a certain way that you may not be able to control. At the same time, you could be dealing with an energy of someone who does not know how to control the way they receive emotional wealth, nor give it. Either one, giving or taking of emotions is very difficult to control because of a temperament, a type of anger or a type of lust that is very difficult for them to control. And there is this dynamic energy where there is a need to give birth to some sort of emotional or creative endeavor, but there is something of a regret here. There is a regret from the past that has to do with a great deal of sadness. This has to do with heritage, as well as the suppression of inner needs. And because of this, there has been some sort of depressive or type of isolation that is based on some sort of regret from the past, some sort of 2 of Cups energy or 3 of Cups energy in the reverse. And with the Sun here in complete and utter reversal, there is something. This suggests, and you may be going through some sort of ego death because of losing control. January seems to be very filled with a type of conflict, as well as a need to be elated emotionally, to be fulfilled in a certain way. Family could be a big thing here, where mothers and grandmothers or wives may have to deal with a difficulty in controlling emotional urges, as well as urges of the heart and urges of the needs when it comes to creation and when it comes to primal um, desires. Desires here need to be controlled on either side because there is a great emotional holdback and a potentiality. And because of this, there is a lot of intuitive activity and creative activity inside of your mind as well as inside of your gut. There is an emotional feeling and a type of élongement, which is the Three of Swords energy, the heartbreak that's coming into here. So not so easy of a month for you. Already I see regret, conflict, as well as heartache with someone, or with someone who's holding back emotionally, especially emotionally, and they may be angry with you, or you with them angry and held back emotionally. Don't worry though, what you are manifesting in the month of January is some type of resolution through isolation as well as through the manifestation energies of the Magician and the not the Hanged Man, the Hermit here. Hermit is moving towards the Magician. Magician's moving towards a hermit, the Hermit. So either you or this person has gone into a type of hermit mode in which you had to withdraw from the situation to find the inner light, and you guys are either manifesting each other back into the equation or vice versa. But there is some sort of energy here that is semblant, that is the energy of Virgo, yes, as well as Gemini. There's like a need to bring out or bring in something from the ether, something from some found spirituality. Spirituality is going to help you here with the need to balance certain things, balance certain elements, especially anything that is flaring out of your control, especially fire. The element of fire is going to be important for you in the month of January because there is a lack of grip with some sort of beginning or some sort of resolution to a problem of the heart and a problem of the mind. Yeah, I see here again conflict and a need to withdraw from any societal or communal links to find your own empowerment again. Something from the past has caused you a great deal of fear. You're getting over that, and I think this might be an act of justice as well as judgment, some sort of defiant aspect about you that will not let something from the past disturb you in the present. Already the emotions as well as the fire inside of you may be difficult to control. So you're taking your power back and you're trying to find the strength which has been missing and causing you a great deal of fear and calamity as well as mischief. It's important that you take your time and move slowly in order to find some sort of completion when it comes to a cycle of the rod. Some sort of thing that's been burdening you will be let loose if you move slowly, and then no longer will there be darkness and no longer will there be secrets from a type of love situation that you may or may not have been dealing with in the month of December or before that. But yeah, my dear Aries, that is the first iteration, and that is the 1890 Alieta deck, a very strong deck. We're going to close that portal and move on. Yeah, the Queen of Rods definitely wanted to jump out, so that portal is now closed. There is something about the Queen and King of Rods that, and that's your sign, your element. There is a balancing of a need to balance out masculine and feminine energies for you to find empowerment, okay? Yeah, so let's move on. I'm going to close that portal, it's closed. And now we're moving on to a very special deck from Geneva, Switzerland, from Eugene Vininsky and Elsa Kapatnukovsky. Okay. So it's the Tarot of Forbidden Dreams, and it's by Eugene Vininsky and Elsa Kapatunakovsky. So it's a long story short. Basically, this is a Geneva deck from Switzerland, a very special deck, and it's an erotic deck. So if you don't want to watch something that's quasi-erotic, I'll do you the favor of not showing you everything and showing you select cards, but the message will be quite clear. And within this deck, there's very interesting variations of the traditional 78 card tarot. Very special deck. And I believe it was printed in 2019. So portal is now opening. Second portal. Aries. Love situationship reading. Please take what you will. Alright. Portal is now open. Okay, here we are again. Your energy is coming up with the King of Wands. You are becoming a core manifester in the month of January to 2020, and there certainly is some sort of cycle work that you're moving towards. You're manifesting something new, and you are walking in tall pride, and you may have someone on your mind when it comes to manifesting, and it's very intense. There is something about this energy, though, that advises you to take patience and to wait for the Wheel of Fortune to turn in your favor, because it's in reverse, and there is a need, usually with the indication of the reversal, with the Wheel of Fortune, a need to wait for the natural flow of karma and dharma to take its course. So there is already a need to control tempers, as well as flare-ups of desire or any sort of need to create something. In terms of your manifestation, you are empowered, but the cards are telling me for you to take your time, and this has to do with a love situation here. The lovers are showing up, and someone no longer feeling left out or abandoned, okay? So there is a connection here that you're dealing with that is very tempting in a certain way, and it has to do with very intense energies that are binding, as well as extremely compelling in a certain way. You have to take your time, like I said, because the Five of Coins here is clarified by justice in reverse. There's a type of negative karma that has to do with this Five of Coins energy, and it's very important that you take your time and not use any sort of manipulative tactics, including third-party situations. If you're dealing with this lover, there may be some sort of deep connection, and also a choice for you to make with others in order to find a communal sort of harmony with your emotional fulfillment. There is a great deal of nostalgia already with you and this person, but I feel communications have been a bit slow, or perhaps a bit stagnant. Now, don't worry, there will be new communications, and the communications will be very fulfilling in a certain way. There is an emotional candor to the communications that come out through the Ace of Swords with the Moon here. Something intuitive that you know is going to be hitting you, as well as communications that are not only philosophic but psychic in a certain way. You may encounter this person in the dream world, or perhaps there may be messages of lust, as well as promises of transformation after a great deal of holding energy, and finally getting over that hold in order to find something very particularly compelling. It's just a matter of time, though. As you can see, Death is holding the hourglass and is already sort of suggesting the flow of change to occur, but it's just a matter of time. And any feelings you have that have been conservative in nature will be revolutionized by the transformative power of human connection for you in January. There is something here that has once created in the past some deep, intense heartbreak. Impotency is implied here, as well as rejection with the Three of Swords here. And because of this rejection, there will be small communications or a faux, artificial apology about this rejection, or this feeling of falling out, okay? This has led to a type of judgment, okay? This person in the month of January is going to expect you to let down your your walls and to appreciate some sort of lovers-like energy here, but it's more communal in a certain way. There's judgment here, and there's a very strong indication of third-party elements. So you must be very careful to use your own discernment and to let in what deserves to be judged properly, and then to use your emotional intuition to empower you in a certain way to make the right choice between, say, multiple lovers, if that is the case. The threes have been showing up for you. We have both three of swords as well as the three of cups. So there is the possibility of triangular desire as well as triangular relationships. It's very important that you take your time, like I said, with any sort of romance or any sort of promise of stability in terms of romance that may come. But you have to really take your time. Your energy is here about some sort of hidden new beginning with the Ace of Cups as well as the Knight of Rods. And the Knight of Rods is doing the Knight of Rods thing. So it's important for you to take your time with any sort of new beginnings, especially emotional new beginnings, and to be patient, because there still needs to be some sort of closure from an element of the past that once caused conflict, as well as a great deal of toxicity with the Seven of Wands reverse, as well as the Devil here. Yeah, a need to get rid of toxic cycles is clear, and it's also resonant with the first portal. Second portal is now closed. There is a need for you to find balance, because the Two of Coins is in reverse here, as well as to find temperance. So essentially what I've been saying all along, be patient and take your time. If you have a New Year's resolution, I would recommend to make one, and for you to choose slowly when it comes to any sort of new things. Okay, that portal is closed. Second portal is closed. I'm moving on to the Royal Fez Moroccan Tarot deck, a very strong deck from 1975 by US Game Systems. Third portal is now opening. Second portal is closed. Oh, I love this deck. Alright, third portal is open. Your energy is showing up here with the bottom of the deck, the Fool energy. So there is a new beginning that has to do with you letting down every pretension, every aspect of the past is gone, and the Fool is always looking into the future, or perhaps looking into the present. The Fool is on a journey about some sort of new beginning, okay? The new beginning is clarified by the Seven of Swords in reverse. So once again, the Seven of Swords is showing up for you just like the second portal. And for you to look over any sort of darker aspects. With the Fool, you have the Sun in the background, and the Sun is reflective of this Ace of Pentacles energy. So there's some sort of movement towards the golden round. The Sun's energy is here. And you, in the month of January, are going to find some sort of strength and freedom. Okay, that's good. And let's go through the flow. There is a cycle that needed to end, but hasn't yet. Because it hasn't, there is a sense of hope, or a sense of bringing in of a higher purpose, some sort of interesting, infallible thing where the sun is going to shine again. So with this card, as well as the world in the reverse, there's an indication of some sort of reopening of something that once gave you a great deal of pleasure. Yes, and it shows here that you walked away once with the Eight of Cups in the reverse, and now are returning to the scene of some sort of departure, something emotional that you invested in already, You are returning to that and no longer are taking the Knight of Rods energy and meandering or wandering about with your heart's desire or just desire in general. Something tells me that your desire is being controlled in the month of January, especially with the Strength card here as a clear indication of that. The desire that you once had created some sort of Three of Swords and Four of Swords energy where you had to recharge in the late December period to find some sort of thing. You actually had to detach yourself emotionally from something, and now the time is right to recycle something from the past and repurpose it for your own higher good, or perhaps for a child or some sort of project or some sort of love child. Okay, this is also a possibility. Yeah, but the return is clear, and it seems that you've done some sort of journey work with some sort of investment that you've been working hard on, or perhaps your work ethic hasn't been completely 100%. Therefore, you weren't able to balance out something, and something needed to be cut out. When this happened, the Death and the Tower in the reverse, a cycle ended, and it was set in the ground, and there was a chance for you to not only stir up this ground, to shift some energies to find some sort of truth, but you watched something from a distance fall apart with your departure. And this created some sort of heartbreak, like I said, with the Four of Swords indicated, as well as the Three of Swords here in the upright. This is the past, and the emotions were very cold or very held back. With the King of Cups in reverse, I see someone who's extremely detached from their emotions. And not only that, but there was a need for healing, or a need to be to find harmony again with the world around you. So there's something about your higher purpose here, or perhaps a connection with someone who has been demanding your loyalty, or perhaps has a lot of emotions for you, or has some sort of maternal quality about them that brings you into nostalgia. And it's very important for you to find that this person still is somewhat not very good at communication. They can't bring harmony to you right now, nor can they bring the type of harmony that the society needs from you right now, humanity. There's something about their own humanity that is difficult, and they're trying to prove something else through some sort of emotional wealth, or perhaps through the energy of the Pentacles, some sort of rearing, some sort of bringing about loyalties that are based on passions that are given properly. You sit here and you're looking at this person, and they've lost their balance. Therefore, this act of imbalance, you see as something where like they're acting as a ball and chain, and perhaps a burden. The connection is burdensome, or perhaps toxic in a certain way. Therefore, you're waiting for something for you to write your own thing. I think you're coming into power in the month of January, and it's really important for you to cut out what you don't need. And you've been doing that in order so that you can find some sort of recharge and to find some sort of direction with your higher purpose, my dear Aries. And I think that's very healthy. I'm going to pull from the Russian Fairy Oracle to give you some final advice. This will be a 3 or 4 card spread, and this is for all the 4. This is for all Aries. Okay. There's a challenge here. Challenge with the mountain, and a challenge between lovers. Okay. There is tyranny in a love situationship. One person or the other is overexerting their power when it comes to the Tsar here. The Tsar sits in his power, and he sits with 2 lovers. Okay. So there is an element of empowerment, but because it's in reverse, it talks to me of a tyrannical Tsar, someone who's been corrupted by an advisor or something like that, a confidant. But it seems to me the love situationship that occurs between you and someone else is indeed very profound, but there's something that needs to change about it. The connection is not being celebrated in the light of day, and it's causing a great deal of victimization. And someone is playing the victim here. There's the graveyard as well as the church. There's something very difficult for you to actually repair about this situation because it's once caused you a great deal of ambition as well as obstacles with the mountain in the reverse, but now no longer. And there's something you found in the institution of worldly religion or religious studies or perhaps spirituality that is helping you free yourself from a connection that, or perhaps empower it, but in a secret way. And you have to be careful with this energy because someone still feels like a victim, or perhaps there's something about the graveyard that is here that may prove to be challenging in a certain way. But I do see love here. It's a hidden love, and it's one that is based on empowerment, but it's not yet celebrated in the light of day, like I said. Something is strange because there is something here with the mountain in reverse that once was an obstacle, and now it no longer is. Perhaps the institution of marriage is here indicated with the church. And there's something about marriage that is coming up to the cards that is causing a great deal of fear, or perhaps disempowerment, or perhaps tyranny in another way. Bottom of the deck, we have, yes. So not only do we have the Tsar, we have the Tsarina, and she is here. She is one who watches calamity outside of her door, and the world is falling apart because of her power. And there is a type of Hierophant character who's foreboding and warning against this. So there's a clear element of a masculine and feminine energy that is very powerful. And there's a lot of power in this. Okay, there's a power couple here that you may be a part of. And it's very important for you to find grounding and to no longer see this as an obstacle, but as some sort of boon. But the motivations of certain parties are not entirely clear, but it seems like the world around you is not happy with the choices you've made together. Okay, that's it. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I'd like to invite you to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in mid-January for the Great Mirror. Okay, bye, and take care.